Final Fantasy XIV has a lot of hard content. However, there's one place in particular that is often overlooked, featuring an island called Eureka, with 4 zones, each with their own unique threats and surprises. And I was hungry for the challenge, to see if it really was that bad. And so, I entered Eureka. So I went to get my first quest from Kryl.
What do you want?
One quest, please?
Okay, I need a crystal.
Okay, where is it?
I don't know.
What?
Over there-ish, maybe?
The first ball-crushing feature of Eureka had appeared sooner than I expected. Kryl will give you a few quests to find items in the world. And unlike literally the rest of the entire fucking game, there are no markers on your map to guide you. Just a vague text description of the general area. And to make it worse, it had been drilled into my skull and equally smooth brain that if you die in Eureka, you lose levels. But honestly, I kinda like that. It gave me a real sense of adventure and danger when I stepped out of those gates into the wilderness. I felt genuine fear when almost immediately I came face to face with a level 9 fucking cat thing. So I figured since Kryl was so intent on really making me work for this one, I'd at least get some levels before I go wandering aimlessly around the island. Huh? Where are those guys going? I got a bit brave and decided to follow the group. Turns out they were all gathering to kill a boss. Oh, that's a lot of XP. I came up with a plan, so I didn't have to do any of that disgusting work. I would sit AFK, wait for a boss to spawn, and then run to it to freeload off of the effort of others. And if you're wondering if that's morally correct, then let me put your mind at ease. I didn't feel bad about it at all. But I still had to sneak through the jungle, past a lot of high-level mobs, and the extra risk made exploring so much more rewarding. What will I see over this horizon? I hope it doesn't kill me, and after a couple weeks I was making some good progress. My strategy got me levels fast, which made Kryl's quest a lot easier. And thanks to my immense effort, I had enough crystals to instantly upgrade the sword to max level. Don't you just wanna... Now look, I was enjoying Eureka so far, but I didn't really have a reason to keep going. What's that? I had a flashback. My friend was convincing me to quit WoW and start 14. He showed me zones. Cringe. He showed me jobs. Yawn. He showed me... Osma. I know you won't all agree with this, but to me, it's the coolest mount in the fucking game. While everyone else is riding around on a horse or a cat, I'm pulling up to the roleplay club in my mathematical concept.
So how would a weary soul get Osma? First, you must complete all 4 zones of Eureka. Then you must complete the Baldesion Arsenal, a challenging raid where if you die, you're kicked from the instance.
So if I wanted Osma, it was time to enter Zone 2. You're gonna love Zone 2. Oh yeah? What's it like?
Oh, it's pretty much just like Zone 1, but harder and less fun, and there's less people there, and it sucks, and I fucking hate you, Pint. Fuck you, Pint. I fucking hate you.
Oh, my head.
Hey, have you recently experienced blunt force trauma to the head?
Yes.
Sounds like you could use some protection. Hi, I'm the sleep paralysis demon, and this stream is sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN is sure to keep your internet safe from all kinds of cyber threats. Simply press a button and your network will be encrypted, safe from scammers, hackers, and the United States government. Using NordVPN's state-of-the-art technology, you can change the location of your IP address. Not only does this give you privacy from prying eyes, it also allows you to digitally hop from country to country, giving you access to exclusive shows from other regions. Not even the government's gonna stop me watching my animes. So give it a try. If you're not satisfied, Nord has a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's 100% risk-free. So if that sounds good to you, head over to nordvpn.com/pint for 4 months extra on a 2-year plan. Sign up now or I'll break your fucking kneecaps. Now if you'll excuse me...
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
This was Pagos. Pagos sucks. It's known to be the great filter where everybody quits. Which meant there was fewer bosses to leech off of. And worse, there's less people to help you if you die. But don't worry, we'll talk about dying very soon. The layout
is fucked. We got tight corridors, cliffs which make the map confusing, and worst of all, sleeping dragons. While most mobs detect you based on sight, these fuckers got ears. So you have to slow walk past them. I didn't know this. So when my dumbass was trying to Metal Gear around it,
my strength fades and blood cools. Ready to lose my levels, I close my eyes and drift into dreamless slumber.
You saved me.
it turns out if somebody reses you before your death timer expires, you don't lose anything. But it was becoming clear my freeloading tactic wasn't going to be enough this time. If I really wanted that delicious reflective ball, I would have to grind mobs myself. But killing mobs one at a time wasn't going to be enough for me. As much as I like being the little wizard guy who casts the spells, I was hearing the call of my inner beast.
Are you tired of being nice? Don't you just want to go ape shit? Warrior level boost. Here we go.
Yeah, if I buy it in a video, it should be like a tax write-off.
I deal so much damage! I have so many defensives! They can barely touch me. But even if they become a threat, and I'm on the brink of death...
Raw intuition. When you deal damage, recover health. As warrior, Eureka was a breeze, cleaving down groups of mobs, fearing nothing. Okay, maybe one thing.
Trials quest sent me to some scary places, but I'm a warrior, remember? I could even 1v1 the bosses now. Now, most people find this place easier because it introduces a new system called logograms. And what do? I don't know, it looked confusing, so I'd never ever use them ever. Now, I know all the Eureka commenters are going to be really mad about me not using them, but Warrior just worked. I decided to try and thug it out and beat Pyros as fast as possible. And in but a brief 2 days of gaming, I was done with the zone. And I didn't even die once. I died twice. The first one was to these brigands. But my second death happened all the way up north while I wasn't recording. I was genociding random creatures as usual when... I screamed for help, but no one came. For minutes I waited until this woman showed up. She rezzed me and I teleported away, only for her to be swarmed by the same mobs and subsequently die in my place. But worry not. I definitely ran back to her mangled corpse, raised her off the ground, kissed her on the forehead, and everyone in the zone clapped. And as stressful as it was, it made me realize that's what makes Eureka fun. The danger of the world offers a wholesome push towards cooperation. It kinda reminds me of the design philosophy of some other old MMOs. And although my time in Pyros was quite brief, it was probably my favorite zone in Eureka. Surely nothing wildly different will happen in the last zone. This place seemed different. There was a lot of people here, an unusual amount. However, due to my social anxiety and crippling fear of other human beings, I decided to shirk my character growth of last chapter and retreat into my Sigma Ryan Gosling playstyle once more. But shortly after I had started the usual grind, I was approached by a mysterious fellow. A fellow on the Osm Mount.
Hey, buddy. Need some help leveling up?
Oh, no. I appreciate the offer, but I don't want to be carried just because I'm famous, you know?
Yeah, no, I've got no idea who you are.
And lucky for me, today they were doing a very special event. 24 hours where they were helping as many people as possible get through the raid. Yippee! So like the pillow princess I am, I went AFK while they leveled me up. And while the other zones took me a number of weeks to get through, I reached max level in Hydratos in 230 minutes. I'm lying, I don't know how long it took. And so much faster than I expected, I was ready to enter the Baldesion Arsenal. Oh, and by the way, the game actually makes you sign a fucking waiver to get into the instance.
Warning. The Baldesion Arsenal is an unimaginably punishing...
Yeah, tons of service, I accept. Then my new friends invited me to a group. And honestly, I was pretty nervous.
Baldesion Arsenal. A challenging raid where if you die, you're kicked from the instance.
Alright, head on down.
Who was that? That, my friend, is none other than Big Motherfucking Green. The biggest fucking Chad in Eureka. He's the raid leader, and he's done this hundreds of times. And his help was going to be monumental. Getting into the raid is usually somewhat complicated.
The raid group waits for a boss to spawn at a specific time of day, and then you kill the boss, which gives each player a buff, allowing them to click on a portal, and then 48 portals spawn all around the zone, and then you enter the raid.
So, it was time to begin. Most of the mechanics in here were manageable, but would one-shot you if you got hit by anything.
The raid splits into two groups and begins to kill the first bosses.
And as simple as the mechanics were, I was quaking in my little boots. I was pissing and shitting myself. I did not want to die to the first boss.
Then you make your way down this hallway, but wait! There's fucking landmines.
So Big Green goes on ahead to, disarm them. And then it was time for the first real boss.
Raiden has a few mechanics that, if it weren't for Big Green, would certainly result in some deaths. After a bit of horsing around, suddenly, a mechanic where you have to pay attention. Very sad. Oh. Then he starts casting a raid ride, and it's a rush to kill him before he kills you. It actually wasn't even close, and I was trying to hype it up for dramatic effect. More hallways, more trash, and of course, more landmines. And then we arrive at the next boss.
This is the boss that in Final Fantasy XI took players 18 hours to beat. If you try to pull him normally, he is unkillable, repeatedly healing to full before wiping the raid. But Big Green, love him to death, had his special little ops outside the raid, where yet another boss spawns. When Big Green's little boys have killed the boss, absolute virtue is weakened. This fight was a step up in difficulty. With almost every mechanic, you had to pay close attention to the boss to determine which color was safe, and getting it wrong even once would be lethal. It made me very worried how hard the last boss would be. But in spite of all odds, we survived. Well, most of us. But there was still one fight left. The boss that would give me what I came for. Ozma itself. While Big Green was explaining the mechanics, I was kinda zoning out. But one thing did stand out to me. Ozma has a mechanic called Black Hole, and if you mess it up, Ozma will instantly suck you out of the raid. And even if the party clears the fight, you would get nothing. And so the fight began. The first mechanics were pretty shrimpled. And with Big Green's help, everyone made it through in one piece. But then I noticed a little debuff, and silly me had no fucking clue what it meant. In my confusion, I ran to the wrong spot, endangering the life of my dear friend, Jub the Cat Girl. But I lived, 'cause I'm a warrior, remember?
Stay grouped up for 3 more attacks, and then we'll see our first black hole.
This was it. If I fucked this up, it would be game over.
I thought of my long, arduous journey, the supple hills and valleys of Eureka, and my fellow soldiers.
A simple adventurer's quest for one shiny ball.
And now all I had to do was complete this one mechanic.
Move the buttons right now. It's safe to make your way back.
Oh, okay. That was pretty easy, actually.
Wait, this is it.
Big Green just died, but the boss is so low.
Yes! Yes!
Finally, it's mine. And now I can do the thing.
Please subscribe. Next video is going to be pretty big. See you in 2025.